Hello, have you been thinking about adding extra space to your home, maybe for a rental unit, a home office, or a place for friends or family to stay? ADUs and DADUs are a great way to expand your living space, increase your property value, and even generate some rental income if you're so interested. But before you dive in, you probably have a lot of questions running through your head. What exactly is an ADU or a DADU? How much does it cost to build one? Is this the right investment for my property? And where do I even start? Well, today we're going to break it all down for you so you have a clear picture of what to expect, especially when it comes to budgeting and cost. So let's get into it. Let's talk a little bit about your DADU, ADU project. If you're thinking about adding one to your home, we're here to help. Armada Design and Build specializes in designing and building ADUs and DADUs that fit your budget and lifestyle. Call us today for a free consultation. We'll help you navigate pricing, design, the entire construction process so there are no surprises along the way. Let's bring your vision to life. First of all, what is an ADU or a DADU? ADU stands for Accessory Dwelling Unit. A DADU is Detached Accessory Dwelling Unit. ADU is like a mother-in-law where you have an additional living space attached to your home that's got a kitchenette or a kitchen, a bathroom, living space or bedroom, converted basement, but it's a separate space, not just another room. So that's an ADU. A DADU, or Detached Accessory Dwelling Unit, is a completely separate structure on your property. Think of it as a standalone space, a little home in your backyard with its own entrance, kitchen, living space, oftentimes parking, certainly heating and cooling, and maybe a front porch or a back porch. Both of these can be a great way to create extra living space for family, generate some rental income, short-term or long-term, or simply add some long-term value to your property. One really big question is how much do they cost? And this is a big misconception out there, and it's why we wanted to address it. Here at Armada, we get a lot of inquiries about ADUs and DADUs, and people are mistakenly thinking that for whatever reason, these things are inexpensive. Like, oh, I can build an ADU or a DADU for $100,000 or $150,000. And that's just not a thing. It's not realistic. ADUs or DADUs typically start $300,000 or $400,000 depending on how big and how complex, what all you've got going on. Are you doing a full living room, full kitchen, bathroom, 1 or 2 bedrooms, parking, outdoor space? These things can really add up. And then often you have to upgrade your utilities, infrastructure to the home. What all do you need? You need more water, you need more power, you need a bigger sewer line. So there's a lot that can go into these. And if you're on a septic system, it can really add up the cost because your new septic system has to handle what it is that you've done to the house. A DADU is a little bit more involved. Remember, this is a detached accessory dwelling unit. You are essentially building a fully comprehensive, enclosed, separate house on your yard. It's got a foundation, it's got utility hookups, it's got water, power, sewer, all kinds of permits that go along with it. It is an independent, freestanding structure, and these things can start $300,000, $350,000 for really simple small ones, up to $500,000, $600,000, $700,000, just depending on how big and how involved you want it. So just be clear on it that this is not a $100,000 thing that I can now rent out for $1,500 or $2,000 a month and make a ton of money. These are real investments and they're real complicated projects. So just be aware of that and go in with a real sense of what it is that you're up against. Okay, so what's included in the cost? Why do these things cost so much, right? When you're budgeting for them, it's important to understand you've got soft cost and hard cost because these are involved projects. Hard costs are those that we do at the house, the stick boards and nails, as it were, the things that are going to be left there, framing, lumber, flooring, windows, doors, roofing, heating, and cooling. Soft costs are things like architectural, engineering, permitting, things that aren't necessarily about the building itself, but are definitely real costs that are required to get get through the permitting process and understand all that you have to do before you can actually even start building. So it's important to understand the difference between hard costs and soft costs as they are baked into the total cost of the project. Okay, so you've decided that you really want to look into a DADU or an ADU, and you have a sense of where you're going, but how can I keep these costs under control? And there's a few ways to manage costs while still achieving a high quality build. Planning ahead, planning ahead, planning ahead. Super clear and super important that you always have to have a plan before you start. Don't just get going and then let's kind of see where we wind up. You want to plan the whole thing up front, get fixed cost, firm costs from anyone that you're working with. We here at Armada Design and Build, we would give you a fixed cost for the entire project from the beginning so that you don't have these surprises down the road. Choosing cost-effective materials, making sure that you're picking good value stuff that's going to be durable and it's going to last a long time, but it's got good value, that you're buying something that's of very good value. It's important, and we can help you with that here in terms of what to pick. You want it stylish, you want it, modern and trendy, but you also want it to be something that's going to last and durable, particularly if you're going to be renting this space out, because people who rent your home never treat it as well as you do. High-end finishes can really drive up the cost, but there are plenty durable and stylish alternatives that look great without breaking the bank. So come on into Armada. In our showroom, we're a dealer for many, many different manufacturers, and we can really help value engineer what it is you're looking for. Working with a design build team like Armada Design and Build ensures that everything from permits to construction is handled efficiently, keeping the project on schedule. Is an ADU or DADU worth the investment? Big question, right? If you're doing it for money, just for a return on investment, it's really important to understand all the components, and we can help you with that. What am I spending? How long is it going to take? And then what is my return on both the immediate return if I'm renting it out, and then the long-term value of the value it's added to my home. ADUs and DADUs tend to have higher property values because of the additional livable square footage. Many homeowners choose to rent those out, generating here in the Seattle area anywhere from $2,000 to $3,000 per month in rental income, which can then obviously help pay for it. For families, an ADU or a DADU can serve as a private space for those aging parents. Here in the Northwest and the Seattle area, we have a lot of multi-generational living where mom, dad, kids, and grandma and grandpa all live there, but everybody's got their own space. Another really common use, going back to the COVID days, is that private office. If you're working from home, you've got a place to get out of the mainstream of the house, go do your work, and then come back and join the rest of the family. It makes sense to provide all that space, and it can be a really, really smart investment for a lot of homeowners.